Hello, students. I really hope you all are doing good and you are fit and healthy and you are staying indoors. You're not moving out, you're not going out. So, I'm Kashish Munshi, and in our previous lecture, we completed with the in-text questions and we also discussed RTC. And in this particular lecture, we'll see the questions that are given in read, reflect, and write. So, let's begin. So, question number 5 is, how did Rakesh and his grandfather spend the winter evenings? So, the answer is, students, I really hope now you got much time to read the text and read the story line by line. So, I really hope you all read it. You all have read the story, and you all got the minute details that are present in the story or mentioned in the story. So let's start with question number 5. The question is, you have to describe how Rakesh and his grandfather spent their winter evenings. So the answer is, on winter evenings, grandfather and Rakesh used to sit by a charcoal fire. So they used to lit fire and they used to sit near that fire in order to catch heat. Grandfather would tell Rakesh stories about people who turned into animals, and Rakesh would read to him from the newspaper. So grandfather used to narrate him stories, and in turn, Rakesh used to read newspaper for grandfather, as grandfather was too old and he could not see properly. So Rakesh helped grandfather in reading the newspaper, and grandfather narrated Rakesh stories about the people who turned into animals, fictional stories. So in this way they spend their winter evenings. Then coming to next question. Rakesh thought that the cherry tree had died on 2 occasions. Narrate the incident briefly. So there comes 2 incidents in the story when Rakesh felt the life of the cherry tree is now completely over, and Rakesh at that particular moment becomes very sad as well, thinking that the cherry tree won't survive any long now. And what are those 2 occasions when Rakesh felt this, or when he felt that the cherry tree would die soon? So Rakesh thought that the cherry tree had died on 2 occasions, and the occasions are, first one, when a goat had eaten all its leaves, and the next one is when a woman had chopped off half the tree while cutting grass. So these are the 2 occasions when goat entered the garden and ate all the leaves of the cherry tree. That was the first occasion when Rakesh thought that the cherry tree had almost died and it won't grow now. And another occasion takes place just after a few days, and it was when woman unknowingly chopped off half the tree and cut it into 2 while she was cutting the grass. And even at this occasion or incident, Rakesh felt that the cherry tree has completely died or would completely die and will not survive. And this was the occasion when grandfather also thought that the cherry tree would die soon, and he was also very upset with this, and he even scolded the woman who was cutting the grass. So the answer is, Rakesh thought that the cherry tree had died on 2 occasions: when a goat had eaten all its leaves, and when a woman had chopped off the tree while cutting grass. And if you need to add some descriptive details or detail in this, regarding when the goat ate or when did the woman cut the grass, you can add and make the answer more descriptive. Then next is question number 7. That is, what question does Rakesh ask at the end of the story? What do you think he means by the question? So we see that the story ends with a conversation between grandfather and Rakesh, where Rakesh went on asking grandfather that what was so special about the tree, or why did they like the tree so much, what made the tree special. And to which grandfather replied that it's special because they themselves have planted it and took a great care of it. Personally, they looked after the tree, so that's why it's very special for them. So the answer is, at the end of the story, Rakesh wondered what it felt like to be God. He was amazed at how a small seed he had planted had grown into a beautiful tree and that provided fruits, shades, and shelter to everyone. And he considered it a miracle he had performed, and it was happy that his efforts had been fruitful. So it was like Rakesh was so mesmerized by it that he considers it to be a manifestation of God, and he imagines that it was how the God must feel about his creation, and so he thought about the God, how God feels about his creation, as Rakesh took care of the cherry tree, and for Rakesh cherry tree was his creation, so he loved it so much. So then Rakesh wondered how God feel about his creation, God feels about the things that he made. And the Rakesh was also very amazed by seeing that how a small seed turned into a plant and then a beautiful big tree, and then now the tree is providing fruits and shelter and shade to everyone. So he considered all this thing as a miracle, and he considered himself as a person who himself are responsible for conducting this miracle, and he was very happy with all his performance, that he took care of the tree and other things. So he was very happy with what he had done for the tree and how he made the tree survive even after at times when the tree was supposed to, or was almost dead. So he considered it as a miracle, and he himself considered himself as you can say a creator of the tree, and he was happy that his efforts finally showed result, and the tree has finally turned into a big beautiful tree, and which is now providing fruit, shade, and shelter. So next one, question number 8. Would you consider Rakesh and his grandfather to be a nature lovers? Why do you think it is important to plant trees? Now, first question is, would you consider Rakesh and his grandfather to be nature lovers? So, what do you mean by nature lover, student? Nature lover means a person who loves nature, who loves to look after plants, who loves to plant trees, who love to be in greenery, basically a person who loves nature is called as a nature lover. So in this story we saw that Rakesh and grandfather, they took a great care, and they even had a garden around their home. So can you can we tell that Rakesh and grandfather was a nature lover? So yes, Rakesh and his grandfather were nature lovers, and through the story and various incidents in the story proves that they were the nature lover. And the next is, why do you think it is important to plant trees? So first let's take a look at answer, then we'll discuss. So Rakesh and his grandfather were nature lovers. They spent a lot of time outdoors, took care of trees and plants, never harmed any living creature, and spent a lot of time observing nature. It is important to plant trees because trees clean the air and give us oxygen. They also provide us with food and shelter and other resources. They are essential for a healthy ecosystem. So yes, when this is the answer, you can pause the video and you can take the screenshot and make sure you copy down the answer in your notebook. So in this way your notebook will also be maintained. Yes, coming back to the answer, Rakesh and his grandfather were nature lovers. In the story there comes various incident, and there are various evidence where we see that they spent a lot of time in the garden. They took care of the trees and the plants that were in the garden, and even they never tried to harm any living creature. And it even there is a reference where or you can say there is an incident where Rakesh grandfather had already sowed a mustard seed also. So this all shows that he was interested and he really loved planting the trees and taking care of the trees and being among the trees and plants and flowers. And then they never harmed any of the living creature as well. Once Rakesh saw a hairy caterpillar and he did not first he saw an insect, and then at that moment he did not try to hurt that insect and thought it of as a tree's first friend or tree's visitor. Then later on he saw caterpillar who was eating the grass, and then even at that moment Rakesh did not try to hurt or harm the caterpillar, and instead of that he gently picked up the caterpillar and placed it on the heap of dry leaves that were lying in the garden. So this shows that they never harmed any living creatures, and most of the time they used to spend a lot of time observing nature. There is an reference in the story where they used to sit in the garden, and when the cherry tree had turned into a big tall tree, Rakesh used to go and lay under the tree, and then even grandfather used to take his cane chair and sit there, and Rakesh used to see the birds also. So this all shows that Rakesh and grandfather really were nature lovers. And the next question is why it is important for us to plant tree, right? Yeah, to plant trees. So it is important because trees has so many benefits, students. They provide us with infinite and countless benefits. They are actually because of tree the air becomes clean, and they gives us oxygen. They give us oxygen, and oxygen is something that is very essential for us to survive, you can say. So trees are very beneficial for us, no doubt. They give us plants, they give us fruits, they give us flowers, they give us gum, they give us wood and whatnot. So they provide us with food, they provide us with shelter. We can see there are so many birds and insects who leaves on the tree. There are birds who makes their insect and other resources. There are honeybees who get the sugary, you can say, liquid or nectar from that flower. So tree makes the ecosystem, the environment healthy and in better way. So this is the answer, and you can add many more points that you think that you can add here, and you can elaborate the answer. And the next is 9th one. Nothing is lucky if you put it away. If you want luck, you must put it to some use. Give an example of your own to illustrate this quote. So students, I am giving this you as in a question that you need to solve on your own and write on your own. I will surely help you by giving you an outline what you need to write in this answer. So what does this actually means? The line actually means nothing is lucky if you put it away. So when do you see this line appear in the story, or who said this and when? So actually this line is said by grandfather. And when did he say this? He said this when Rakesh, who thought that the last seed of the cherry was lucky for him, and he thought to keep that cherry seed with him, considering it as lucky. And at that moment Rakesh's grandfather said him that nothing is lucky if you put it away. So if he would have he would have kept the cherry tree, considering it as lucky, in his cupboard or anywhere in his almari or cupboard or at any safe place, so would it get anything for Rakesh? Would it? No, it would not get anything for Rakesh if he'll keep the seed in the cupboard or any safe place. Or will it prove beneficial for Rakesh? No, it will not bring any benefit for Rakesh. But then grandfather said, if you want luck, you must put it to some use. So if you want any luck, some luck, so you use that seed. You get some work out of that seed. Use that seed. And then he advised him to plant the tree and sow the seed and plant it. And then Rakesh sowed the seed, and then he took a great care. And then finally, after years, the tree turned into the seed got turned into plant, and then later on big tree. It got blossoms, flowers came, and then finally the trees bore fruits. And in this way the tree the small seed turned into a big tree. So this actually means that this is what grandfather wanted to say. So in this way, like, if Rakesh would have put that seed in the cupboard, or like would have saved it, just considering it as lucky, even after so many years, that seed would not have given anything to Rakesh and would not got any benefit to Rakesh. But as he used that seed, it became lucky in the sense it got turned into tree, it gave cherries, and it gave shade, the tree gave shade to them. So in this way it came to use. So this is what actually it means. So you can like explain this, you can illustrate this on your own, you can give an example, and you can just elaborate the answer. So that's it for today, students. And this maybe I've completed 2 chapters and 1 poem, or you can basically 2 chapters of your English New Melbury English course book. And what you can do is, for now, you have got all the notes with you. I have explained you everything in detail. I have gave you all the answers as well, in text question, RTC, read, reflect, write. Everything is with you, and I hope you all have maintained a notebook as well. You all are writing everything in the notebook. So what you need to do now is you just start learning and reading the things and start learning. Okay, so that's it for today. See you in next class. Bye, and take a very good care of yourselves. Stay home, stay safe, students, and I really miss you. Bye.